Hi all, this is just a quick fire review of the Deadpool 3 or Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Haven't done movie reviews before, but I just really enjoyed this film, so I just wanted to have a quick words about it. So to start, I'm not a big MCU buff. I really enjoyed the films from Phase 1 through to about Infinity War. As they were airing, of course, there was a couple that I wasn't super into, like The Dark World. Or even, I personally didn't really enjoy Iron Man 2 or 3 as they aired. I do enjoy them more now, but at the time, I wasn't hugely into it. But after Infinity War, I haven't really enjoyed the MCU at all. Endgame was okay. I did like No Way Home, but that was more because of the original Sony characters that came back for the film. As the movie itself, I just haven't found myself loving the Marvel movies after Endgame. I just personally haven't felt that they've had a very clear vision like they seem to have had for the first few phases, which I do know, some ideas did change in that time. It wasn't like this is it from the beginning and we had it perfect to the end. I get they did make changes, but there was still a clear vision between phase 1 through to Endgame. Whereas I feel like that's been completely lacking since. So for a whole, I kind of stopped watching the Marvel things. I stopped watching the TV shows. I stopped watching their movies. And I didn't really have any interest. But, pardon me, they got me back in with this one because I really enjoyed the Deadpool 1 and 2. And I love Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine. So I thought, all right, I'll definitely go and see this one at the cinemas. Hadn't been to the cinemas in nearly 5 years, except this year. I've started going again. But I almost hadn't gone since Endgame. So we went to go see it in VMAX, and from the minute the movie started, I was just blown away. The intro was hilarious and heartfelt to a degree, and it just connected to previous films really well. I don't want to give any spoilers away. I know there's spoilers all over the internet already, but I just really wanted this to be a quick fire, normie, non-Marvel fan who's kind of come back because of this film and has got a big appreciation and want to reach other people who might be in the same boat and dissuade their fears and say, no, you've got this, go see it. It's pretty bloody good. So the intro had me hooked. I felt that the movie was incredibly well paced. Quite often with these films, there's either a slow build up or a lull in the middle, or they just end too quickly. I felt like the film was really well paced. I felt like it was like, here's the story, we're going, and I kept waiting for that penny to drop, and then it came to the end, and I'm like, here we go, they're going to do the classic quick ending, and I was like, nope, we gave it enough time, and then it didn't overstay its welcome. It was really well paced, incredibly violent. If you're not good with violence, well, if you've seen the previous 2 Deadpool movies, you should know what you're in for. That's all I'm going to say. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's chemistry, brilliant. The cameos, brilliant. There are some cameos there that, again, if you haven't looked up the spoilers, I really strongly recommend you just go in and just watch it and experience it, because it was kind of like, there were cameos I never even considered. There was like your usual that I was like, well, okay, they're going to do this, this, and this. They have to. I think I might have got one cameo guessed correctly on my bingo card. The rest I was just like, so yeah, look, I just found it really enjoyable. It had a lot of humor, and the jokes that they made, obviously at their own expense, at the expense of the previous franchise, digs at the current trend that Marvel has gone. Honestly, I'm surprised a lot of the jokes got through the screening. I'm surprised Disney let a lot of that happen. I haven't done a lot of research on the production, so there might have been a fight to get it in there. I don't know, but it's in the movie, so brilliant. And look, I really want this movie to do gangbusters. I would love to see this thing earn all the money, because I feel like this is the right direction. I feel like this is what they need to kind of reset. Look, if you want to continue the stories that they've started, fine. But look at this movie. Look what they did. And I'm not saying make them all violent, Keep the classic Marvel, age appropriate for the others, that's fine. But look at the story writing. look at the acting, look at the acting chops, you know, look at what they brought to it, the writing, the directing. It was all so tight, and it was so clearly, it wasn't even, I wouldn't even call it fan driven. It was just story driven. It was like, let's make a good movie. And they're my favorite type of movies. Make a good movie. You know, I feel like that shouldn't be rocket science, but sometimes you go out and you watch a film and you kind of go, did you guys forget to make a good movie? Like, did you forget that should be a core tenet? They kind of seem to go out there with like, we need this idea in there, but then they fail to expand or elaborate on that idea. It's just like, we see your idea, but there's nothing else to it. There's nothing else substantial in this film except your idea. This film was just back to classic, good writing, good soundtrack, brilliant soundtrack, good acting, and well timed. Like the duration was awesome. You know, I don't know about other people, but I sometimes, if it's a good film, 3 hours will zoom by. If it's a kind of a crappy film, 90 minutes will take forever. You know, but this film was well paced. You know, there was no stage did I feel myself getting antsy in the cinema. I was just completely enthralled from start to finish, and time just went by like that. So yeah, look, I just think I think everybody should see this film, except if you're not age appropriate. But anybody else in that gap where I was, where you kind of were like, I'm burnt out on Marvel movies, I'm burnt out on superhero movies, I'm burnt out on Disney. You know, I get it. I haven't loved everything Disney's been doing over the years, but I think that this one should be for you. You know, rather take away that mentality of I don't want to give them money. I think this should be seen more as a treat for you, because this movie really is a treat. It was just good old-fashioned popcorn fun. You know, just a classic blockbuster. And who doesn't love a blockbuster? Who doesn't love going to the cinemas and having a good time? You know, I certainly missed it. So if you haven't seen it yet, you want to go see this thing. It is awesome. I think you'll have a good time. Ryan Reynolds really delivers. Sean Levy delivers. Hugh Jackman always delivers. And the cameos, I really feel like, you know, I've mentioned them a few times, but I really feel like that should be a tick in the, okay, we really need to see it for the cameos, because holy crap. It's the only way to say it. Holy crap. But keep in mind that they are cameos. You know, I doubt that anything, it's more kind of like the type of cameos where it's not for things to come. It's just like, they are what they are. This is where you're going to see them, and you're probably never going to see them anywhere else. You know, so have fun with this one. Just enjoy what you see. And yeah, that's it for the review. I give it probably, on a blockbuster scale, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. You know, it was a lot of fun. In terms of a, you know, like a cinema critique, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. You know, there's always room for improvement. But this film was damn near perfect for what it's meant to be. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks all. Have a good time. And I might see you in another review later. Bye.